I'm Barry Asher from the Dub Pistols. We are at the Relentless Freeze Festival with Last.fm, HP. This is going to be massive. I grew up on a council estate in South London, and music was always out of touch to me. And then I went to Ibiza in about '87, went completely crazy, came back and started throwing parties. And then the thing that got me into understanding that maybe I could have a chance of making music was that watching the Happy Mondays. And as much as I loved them and as crazy as they were, I realised that if these guys can do it, then anybody can do it. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to start a band. And that's what I did. And I was just like, you know what, this ain't out of reach. This ain't, you can do it. Rodney, come and join me. This is the godfather of UK hip-hop. This is the reason people started rhyming in UK tongue. Mr.
He's
Rodney
reading
P.
this all out of my bio, you know. He didn't really know that.
No, I didn't
Hello,
know.
people, how you doing? There was a moment I was on stage in Belfast with Big Old Yellow Dynamite in 1984, and I was like 15. And before then, it always felt like this was unobtainable. Like you want to be on the telly, you want to do Top of the Pops, but really, I'm thinking about joining the YTS. And I was on stage and there was an audience, and I thought, actually, I could do this. Like, yeah, I could do this. I could do this. So yeah, that was the moment. 1984-ish, Belfast, on stage, Big Old Yellow Dynamite. That was my
When it felt real. We got Mr. MC Surreal, we got Mr. Dan Bone Skills. All of them guests with us today. It's going to be massive.
We don't get to play in London all the time. We do a lot of gigs sort of like internationally around Europe and stuff, and sort of Singapore and Dubai and things like that. And it's just nice to play in your hometown, get all the big guns in, just make sure people remember us and stuff, try and do something spectacular. The wonderful, the legendary.
Don't be good to me, Lindsay later.
There she is.
When I was a kid, I had a real thing, and all my sister's mates were really cool, and they used to mess about with the turntables, and I used to look at these decks and see the little dots go around.
Oh,
the lights.
yeah.
And it was like, they were like these untouchable things that, were just not for my fingers, which they probably weren't, because they were covered in jam. But the day I actually touched the turntable and no one told me off, I was like, oh my God, you mean I can really put, and then I can actually move the needle. Oh my God, I can actually put a record on. Not only could I put a record on, I could find another record that I could have playing at the same time as that record. What? And you can actually change it so you can get them at the same speed. Joking. And then mix them together, and that's it. That was my moment. And for that, from the day I did that, every single Saturday, I'm now quite old. In fact, some people just say very old. Every Saturday, every week, I bought a tune or two or three. There's not been one weekend. Every Saturday, buy a record. Since then, yeah.
How did you start music, Dad? What started you singing?
Well, for me, it was very similar to Lindy. Sort of about age of about 7 years old, I was fascinated by vinyl. I was like, how do you get vocals on that piece of plastic? I was fascinated with how a song could be on that. And I remember saying to myself, I want to do that. I want to have songs on piece of plastic when I get older. So basically it was vinyl fascinated me, and also watching Marley, perform. I thought, I want to do that. I want to do what he's doing. I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? I want to get on stage and entertain people and experience what he's experiencing.
Did you get yourself some denim flares?
No, I didn't. But I put a towel on my head as dreadlocks as a little boy. I was like, I'm a Rasta mum,
I bet she loves that.
She loved it. She always said, this boy's going to be an entertainer. So yes, there you go. Here I am.
Somebody asked me.
Right, guys.
Who cares about me?
Get myself on stage.
No.
I was lead choir voice singer, and as lead choir voice singer, I went to my mother and I asked her if I could go to Sylvia Young School, which was the school for the young talented singers and actresses. No, I didn't.
I was going to say.
My mother turned around and said she couldn't afford it. What a horrible woman. Said she couldn't afford it. And I wasn't going to go. So I became very rebellious, and I started listening to rap music, and I started listening to pirate radio. And on pirate radio, they told me something that stuck with me forever. The police. And that's what I turned into. That's exactly what happened. I was good. I used to be good. I was in the church.
Because I'm a stage school child, so I didn't.
I wanted to be with her.
Yeah.
But they sidelined
odds
me.
were against.
They separated me. They did nastiness with classism with me. That's what they did. They wouldn't let me get in. Now I'm going to terrorize the world. Yes.